Hello everyone, good morning from KIC Nepal. We hope that you all are safe in this global pandemic situation of COVID-19. Myself, Shyam Dahal, Director of Operations of KIC Nepal. As always, I would like to welcome all of you to our Facebook and YouTube virtual information session. Today, in this live session, we will be talking about study in Australia. Most importantly, we have representatives from the Charles Sturt University Study Centers, Australia, to talk about the CSU study centers. As you know that there are many universities in Australia providing globally recognized qualifications. We also understand that it is very hard to choose one university from the list of the many universities offering the same program. So today, we have decided to talk about the Charles Sturt University Study Centers, its programs, scholarship, and other admission requirements. I know many of you have questions about the study in Australia, the Charles Sturt University Study Centers. So you can mention your questions in the comment section below. In the second stage of the session, we will answer those questions. So I would like to request you to start asking questions now in the comment section below. Now we are live from our Facebook page, and also we are live from our YouTube channel. Without doing any delay, let me introduce our guest today. We have Mr. Luke Dixon. Welcome, Mr. Luke, in our Facebook and YouTube live counseling session today.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure. Hopefully today I'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have. And share with you lots of information about the programs that we have available for Charles Sturt University. Any of you guys that are thinking, or if you have dreams of studying in Australia, then that's definitely something that I'll be able to help with.
Okay, Mr. Luke Dixon is the Student Recruitment Manager for Charles Sturt University Study Center. Also today we have another guest, Mr. Raju Paudel. Welcome, Raju sir, in our Facebook and YouTube live counseling session. Raju sir, I think your mic is mute. Welcome to you in our session.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm extremely sorry for that issues. Yes, my name is Raju Paudel. I'm Partner Sales Manager for Charles Sturt University Study Centers, which is, this CSU Study Centers, campuses are being operated by a study group. So today we are going to provide you the latest updates about CSU study centers, why you should choose Australia as a study destinations, and there are so many things. So yes, thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for both of you for your time today. Before starting the information session about the university, I would like to ask Mr. Luke about the COVID-19 situation over there in Australia at the moment, and further steps taken by the Australian government to welcome international students in future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, everybody is fully aware of COVID-19 and the impact that it's having all over the world. One of the current challenges that we're having, and one of the things that's made Australia so successful in obviously combating COVID, is the restrictions that they've had in terms of their borders and their initial lockdown phase. So I think everywhere in Australia is doing very, very well. I think Victoria's had a little bit of a struggle, but compared to many other places in the world, comparatively, has still managed to manage COVID very, very well. One of the downsides for that for our students is that it means that currently borders are still closed, but we're optimistic that given all of the work that Australia and the Australian government have done recently in combating COVID, we are hoping to get some clarification that the borders will be open for students very, very soon. Unfortunately, we don't have the information of when that is, but potentially towards the end of the year or in the beginning of 2021, that may be the case. Okay, so I think for all the students looking to study abroad in Australia, just keep your eyes peeled for that, for when the borders are open. But we have, as an institution, and other institutions have been doing something similar, we do have a range of alternative options for students as well. Okay, so we are currently running, all of our intakes are available as live virtual sessions. And so what that means is that students will still be able to participate. They will still be able to study in the same manner and with the same sort of daily cadence. And of course, leveraging with our support from our students on a day-to-day basis in sessions that we will run online whilst the borders are shut. Okay, so if you're thinking of studying with us at any point in the future and the borders are shut still, then we would still have study options for you guys, okay? And recent changes, recent clarifications by the Australian government, for example, means that students that are able to get their COEM visa will not be later impacted when they're applying for things like post-study work visa and things like this, okay? So we'll go into a bit more detail on that later. I'm sure we'll have lots of questions, but the good news is that Australia is managing COVID very, very well. Whilst we don't have confirmation of the borders open, we will be running alternatives for students that want to study.
Thank you so much, Luke, for the COVID-19 situation update. Again, I would like to request all of the students to mention your questions in the comment section below. Any questions regarding online study, scholarship, admission requirements, any questions, so that we will be answering your questions after this first session in the second stage of our session. So now I would like to request Mr. Luke and Raju sir to start this today's session. So over to you, Luke and Raju sir.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Luke.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a little presentation. Let's go with this one. And once we just get this shared, so I'll just pop this up. So I'll blast through this and just let me know that you can see my screen okay. I'll take that as a yes. So I'm going to be sharing with you some information about our centres, our Charles Sturt University study centres in Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. I'll give you guys a high-level understanding and talk about our programmes, some of our key selling points, why students choose Charles Sturt University as their study destination. And then I'll be happy to answer any questions later on. I can talk about some scholarships that we have just confirmed also. And then one thing that I haven't included in this presentation is very detailed information on COVID and on the virtual sessions we're running. And the reason for that is just because okay. So today I'll be focusing on three things relating to our Charles Sturt University study centres. That's obviously location, our proposition, so the place, proposition. So the first thing to talk about is actually our study centres have 1025. So we've been helping students from all over the world come and study in Australia for 25 years at our study centres. So these are our campuses in Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. Charles Sturt University itself has actually been around. Charles Sturt University runs a number of regional campuses, and then we support Charles Sturt University as study group. We're going to be talking about today. Okay, so we had a very long relationship, and over those years we've helped probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of students achieve their dreams of studying overseas in Australia. So I'll talk about the three locations that we have. All three of these locations will be available for students post COVID once the borders are back open. If students decide to study with us in a virtual learning environment, then they will be able to still select any of these three locations. So when they do, okay. So the reason we've chosen these three locations is largely to do with the central city, Melbourne, Sydney, the three largest cities in Australia, and they represent the best opportunities for our students for their postgraduate work opportunities. Okay, so when you finish studying with us, when you want to go on and get a job, being the three largest cities, we have the biggest links with companies. And it's the best opportunities available for students when they graduate. Okay, so in the background on the screen, you can actually see this is Sydney. You guys might recognize Sydney Harbour Bridge here, and then you might also recognize the Sydney Opera House. But I'll show you guys a little bit. I'll share with you guys about the so we have our Melbourne Center, which is our biggest center. All of our programs are available at the Melbourne Center. You can actually see it just here. So one of the biggest differences is they're not like traditional university campuses. Often, when people think of university campuses, they think of sort of big areas of land, often quite far from the city centre, and that is certainly the case for most universities. But for what we call our campuses, they're a little bit different. Obviously, because we have our central city location, you'll find that actually all of our classrooms and our facilities are located within these office blocks. Okay, so we'll have levels exclusively accessed by our students and our teachers, and then all of our facilities will be located within a building similar to this. This is actually our CSU Melbourne building. Okay, but all of our centres are very centrally located, so they're very convenient for students to get in, study, and then go on to work afterwards, which is very common for our students. Our next centre is our Sydney Centre. And again, it's right in the middle of the Sydney CBD. You can see the building just in the background there. And once again, all of our programs are available. Okay, so grad and postgraduate programs that we offer in accounting, business, and IT. Lastly, we have our smallest centre, our Brisbane Center, our newest centre. And again, once again, it's located right in the heart of the Brisbane CBD, so very centrally located, very convenient. The only thing to bear in mind with the Brisbane Center is that programs, our 12 subject Master of Professional Accounting and our 12 subject Master of IT. So if you're looking at one of the other programs to study, that's absolutely fine. You can choose Sydney, Melbourne. If you're looking at doing our MPA or our MIT, then you can choose all three of our locations. So one thing to bear in mind, just all of the facilities that we would typically have on our campus, and I'll talk a little bit more about what we've made available for our students if they're studying online a bit later on. But one of the things you can see from these pictures actually that I like to point out, this top right is what a typical classroom looks like. And if you see, there's about 10 students there, and that's pretty typical. There's a reason for this. And one of the key reasons, and I'll go into a bit more detail later on, but we want to make sure that all of our students get all of the support they need. So we purposefully make sure that all of our classrooms are very, very small, and so that our students can get plenty of interaction with their teacher every time they come in and study. Okay, so it's very common for universities in Australia and all over the world to run a lecture model system, and when students will sit in lectures, for example, they might be in a lecture with maybe 100, 200, 300 students, and there's not much of an opportunity to get direct interaction and support from the teacher. Okay, so one of the things that we focus on is support, and you'll actually see that in the way that we structure our size of our classrooms and the classroom structure that we offer. Okay, in addition to that, when you're on campus, we have computer labs, we have libraries, we have our student support and academic counselling, we have all of our student common rooms. We'll have areas where students can eat, sit down, study, etc. So there's lots and lots of facilities that we have available on campus for our students. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about our proposition. So these are the reasons why students choose Charles Sturt University. These are some of the reasons that I'm going to talk about that might make you decide that CSU is the right choice. Okay. So there are three areas I'm going to focus on. See these on screen. I've spoken about one of them already, supported learning environment. The other two areas that are very important for our students. So the fact that Charles Sturt University is #1 in Australia for graduate employment, and I'll come back and talk about this in more detail in a second. And also the fact that we are career focused. And again, I'll come back and I'll talk about that more in a second. Okay. So point number one, Charles Sturt University, #1 in Australia for graduate employment. What that means is that we have the highest graduate employment rate. So this is the percentage of students that are going on and finding work after they graduate within 4 months. You can see that 87.5% this, which is a huge number of students. And then you'll also see our graduates enjoy one of the highest average starting salaries. The average starting salary there, 67,000 Australian dollars, compared to all of the universities' average of 62,000. So what that means is students that come and study with us, if you choose one of our programs, you're more likely to find a job when you finish, and that job that you find is more likely to be better paid. Okay, so these are two very important criteria for our students. And I think realistically for all students that are studying, these are two very important outcomes for them from a degree. Okay, so highest graduate employment rate and highest average starting salary. Okay. Lastly, and again, very important for our students, but of course, all of the programs that we run are fully accredited by professional bodies in Australia. So whether you're studying business, IT, accounting, they're all fully accredited in Australia, and that means that they are recognized worldwide. Okay, so a degree from Charles Sturt University means that you can live, work in Australia, UK, America, all over the world, and that qualification is going to be recognized wherever you go. Okay. The next part I spoke about is in terms of being career focused. So what I meant by this is that one of the areas that we really focus on, and the rankings reflect this, is that our focus is on our students going on and developing their career. Okay? So the way that we achieve this, there are a few areas, okay, but one of the biggest ones, one of the most popular, and perhaps one of the things that you've heard of already, is that we offer a 12-week internship program for any and all students that apply. They study at one of our Charles Sturt University study centres, and so long as they finish their studies with us. Okay, so 3 very easy criteria. You just need to come study with us in Brisbane, Melbourne, or Sydney. You need to finish your studies, whether that's undergrad or postgrad, and then you just need to apply with our team on campus. Okay, and then we will be able to help you, help place you in an internship when you finish your studies. Okay. So the other parts of this are all of the support and the work that we do for students during their studies. So we run things like career workshops and a job readiness club. We'll help them prepare for their internship. So, and the way that this looks is we will do things like help you build an Australian style resume. We can actually give you interview preparation. So we can do mock interviews with you. We can give you tips, give you coaching, get you ready for when you're interviewing for yourself. And then there'll be a few other things as well. We can help you build your LinkedIn network, introduce you to recruiters for MNCs. We'll do careers fairs, things like this. So these are all part of the experience of Charles Sturt, studying at Charles Sturt University study centres. And of course, there's no extra charge for any of these things. They're all completely part of the program. Okay, the last things that we have here are things like our student ambassador program and our leadership programs. Okay, so these are voluntary positions, but they can help you with your communication, your leadership skills, even, you know, being more confident in your English, meeting new people, and just generally preparing you for your career ahead. Okay, so I'll give you guys a little bit more information on our internship now. So I spoke very briefly about it, but the internship, as I mentioned, is available for all our graduates. You just need to apply and study in one of our study centres. And then when you finish, you'll actually be able to go for a 12-week. So one of the great things about the internship is we will help you prepare for the application process. We'll help you build your resume, give you interview techniques, interview practice, as I mentioned. And then actually when you go out and complete your internship, it's a great way to really solidify what you've learned whilst you've been studying, put into practice what you've been learning, and then go out there and get some professional work experience, build a professional network. Okay. One of the great things about our internships is that many of our students actually get retained as well. So they'll get full-time job offers when they finish their internship and then go on and work full-time for that company. The next thing I will just very briefly talk about are our leadership programs. So as I mentioned before, all completely voluntary programs, but a fantastic way to gain experience, gain leadership skills, build your communication skills, build your confidence. Things that we offer, so our student representative committee, our SRCs, these are the guys who would be elected by our students to serve as a liaison between the students themselves and the campus staff. We have our STEP and our PASS leaders. So these guys have a similar role, but they look after slightly different things. So our peer-assisted study session leaders will just be second and third year students that could be very simple things, but run like revision sessions with our younger students, things like this, but just older students supporting younger students. And then similarly, our step leaders will be typically second or third year students, but they might just be giving just some very basic advice to new students in terms of where you can go to eat, like where you can look for places to live, just very basic things, but it gives you that sort of level of responsibility. It gives you recognition within the university. And then more importantly, it's actually something where you can say that you've actually built your leadership in your resume and use that when you're applying for jobs, okay? In addition to that, we also run our ambassador program, and there's a whole range of things that you can be involved in our ambassador programs, from marketing videos to interviews that we run, supporting students. There's a whole range of things. And again, like I say, all completely voluntary, but highly sought after by our students. The last point I was speaking about with regards to choosing CSU, and perhaps one of the most important for our students. So I spoke before about the small classes that we run. That's a very important aspect, but also just a small. Having those small classes means that there's lots of one-on-one interaction with the teachers. The teachers can actually see who's struggling, who needs more support. They'll be able to tailor that learning experience for our students. It's one of the areas where, when our students give feedback, they say it's one of the best areas, especially for students when they're coming over and studying often in the second language. They find that that support really goes a long way in actually helping them achieve their goals and complete their studies with us, okay? In addition to the small classes that we offer, we have a whole range of other support in place for our students, okay? So you'll see on screen that we offer 3 academic support classes. We have free, so we have academic support, we have counselling support, so if students are struggling or if they need advice, we have guys who can speak with them. We have obviously all of our step and pass leaders in addition, but there's a whole team that are there to support you to achieve your goals, okay? So there's a whole range of things that are available for students to make sure that you get that support you need. Lastly, I am going to move on and just give you guys a glimpse of what the programs look like. So the different programs that we run, the degree programs we have on offer, and then actually talk about our timetable, because another very interesting thing about our program, very flexible in terms of our timetable and also in our course load. One of the things that students really enjoy about the program, because it gives them, makes it much easier for them to be able to break down their week over the course of the semester and manage their entire 2 or 3 year degree with us. Okay. The first thing to bear in mind with all of our programs, so I spoke before about the classes that we run. They're obviously in very small sessions, usually between 10 and 15 students max. All of the classes that we run are actually blocked together into 3-hour sessions, okay? So in a semester, typically between 3 and 4. You will actually, each one of those subjects, 3 hours. It will be run as a single lesson when you come in terms of your contact hours, okay? So every subject you have 3 contact hours, and then in addition to that, you'll have your self-study. But we block those 3 hours for each session together so that you're able to manage your time much more efficiently, okay? So for example, you might have your 3 subjects that you come in. At the start of the semester, we'll actually allow you to choose when you can select that. We'll run all of the sessions multiple times across the week. And we run our sessions Monday to Friday. And then we have 3 sessions a day. We have a morning session, 9 till 12, an afternoon session, 1 till 4, and then we have an evening session, 5 till 8, okay? So we allow our students to choose when, what days they study and what time, and you can actually spread these out across across the week, depending on your schedule, and pick the times that are most suitable for you. Okay, so what a lot of our students will try and do is just obviously they want to study in as few days as possible, which is absolutely fine. In fact, most of our students will typically only come to campus 2 or 3 days a week max. But what a lot of students might do, for example, you might find that you have a job, a part-time job that you're working during the day, and actually you want to study your lessons in all of the evenings. That's absolutely fine. If you'd rather condense them down into 1 or 2 days, also fine. Or if you find that you need to come in and study your lessons in the morning, if there's space in the other classes, you can actually swap into another class. Okay, so it's very, very flexible, very easy, and it really allows you to tailor your own timetable so that you can really build the structure yourself to what suits you best. So the study period itself, so each semester lasts for 12 weeks. So you have 12 weeks. At the end of the semester, you'll have one exam week where you'll typically just have one exam per subject. The breakdown of the subjects of the assessments is here. So you have 3 assessments, and this includes the final exam, but typically you'll have things like exams, group work, written assignments. So typically you'll have each one of these as part of the semester. You'll have an exam. During the semester you'll have an assignment, and then you'll also have these will typically have a different what's the word I'm looking for, like a different breakdown of percentage. So the exam might be worth 50%, your assignment might be worth 30% of your total grade, and the group work might be worth 20%. Okay, so for each subject, these will be conducted across the semester, and then you have your final week where you just have your exam for each subject. One of the other areas where we try to be super flexible for our students is also in the course load. On the screen, you can see a number of the ways that we deliver undergrad and postgraduate programs. What you're seeing is actually these 3, 3, 2, 4, 4. These are the number of subjects that you can study across how many semesters. We let you decide what works best for you. Most of our students go for the more traditional approach, which is if you're studying one of our undergraduate programs, and you choose to study across 2 semesters, and you'll study 4 subjects in semester 1, 4 subjects in semester 2. That's what a lot of our students will go for, and then they'll have the 3rd semester off. But if you prefer, what you can actually do is you can actually spread your course load across those 3 semesters. Okay, so for example, you could study 3 subjects in one semester, 3 subjects in the next, and then you can actually study the remaining 2 subjects in your final trimester. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Whatever your preference is, you can actually decide how you spread that course load around. Now I'm actually going to give you guys an overview of the programs that we run. So remember at the start I said that we only run very specific programs: accounting, business, and IT. I'll show you guys all of the programs that we run in these areas and just talk about them. So all the programs we run, we run at 3 levels. So we have our undergraduate, our Bachelor of Accounting, we have our Graduate Diploma of Accounting, and then we have our 2 Masters of Professional Accounting. Okay, so one of the most common questions that I get, is obviously, why do we have 2 Master of Professional Accounting Masters? And the reason for that is because one of them is a 12 subject master and the other is a 16 subject master. So then the next question I have is, what's the difference? So very simply, our 12 subject MPA is our standard entry program, but whether you are eligible for this subject, so this 12 subject or the 16 subject, will largely depend on where you studied previously, your qualification, and whether your institution, your university is a Section 1 or a Section 2 university, okay? So generally speaking, if you studied in a Section 1 university and you completed a bachelor's degree, then you should always be eligible for this 12 subject masters. If you completed a 4-year undergraduate degree at a Section 2 university, you should still be eligible for this. But if you studied, say, a 3-year bachelor's degree at a Section 2 university, then you'll be typically looking at the 16th subject, okay? In terms of the outcome, so whether you're studying a 12 or a 16 subject, there's very little difference. So when you're applying for jobs, visas, etc., the qualification you have will be exactly the same, albeit just a 12 subject will have 12 subjects completed instead of 16, okay? So the only difference is with the entry. That's the only difference, okay? So what I advise to all students, if you're not sure, have a chat with your counsellor later, and then they can actually advise you on what they think is the best option. But if you're not sure, just apply for the 12 subject. If you're not eligible for this program, then our admissions can actually issue you for the 16 subject program, okay? So I've got on here our 2020 dates, but what you can see from this is that we have 3 intakes every year, okay? So 2021, we'll have 3 intakes, typically end of February, beginning of March, 1 again in July, and then another one in November, okay? So we always have these 3 intakes. all three of levels of our programs, for all three subjects that we offer. Okay. The last thing to note, excuse me, of course, all of our programs, all of our accounting programs are fully accredited by CPA Australia. And then here you can actually see all of the areas where we're ranked 5 stars. Okay, so teaching quality, full-time employment, graduate salary, student support, and overall experience. So these are all of the areas where we received maximum score 5 out of 5. Here on screen is I'm just showing you guys the typical course load for our Masters of Professional Accounting. Here, when you come and study the 12 subjects, there are 12 subjects that you study. They're all core subjects. You'll split this across 2 years, and typically you'll do 3 subjects each semester. If you study one of our 16 subject MPAs, then there'll be an additional 4 subjects to study, and then obviously you'll just study those extra subjects across those 2 years. Okay, but very simple. These are all core subjects that you have. So when you do the MPA, every single one of these subjects you choose, there are no electives to choose from. So similar for our IT programs, you'll see that we have 3 levels of study. We have our bachelor, our graduate diploma programs. Again, these are available in all 3 of our intakes. And once again, all the areas where we are ranked 5 stars, areas where. And then finally, a very interesting thing, the median salary for CSU grads from our IT programs is 16% higher than the national average. So a very good reason to choose an IT program at Charles Sturt, because you'll likely end up with a higher salary than most other IT grads. So here I have a sample of one of our Master of IT programs, our 12 subjects. Here you'll see that they're just 5 core subjects. 5. And then what will happen is that you'll actually choose a specialization. So we have cybersecurity, data science, software design is very popular, things like cloud computing. Depending on which specialization you choose, these will determine pretty much the rest of the remaining 7-8 subjects that you have will be largely determined by what your specialization is. Okay, so 5 core subjects, then you choose your specialization, and then that will determine the remaining subjects you have to make it up to 12. Finally, we have our business course programs. So we have 3 business programs at bachelor level. So we have our Bachelor of Business Management specialization, marketing specialization, and then a more general Bachelor of Business Studies. Once again, we have our Graduate Diploma of Commerce. Then we have our 2 master's programs. Okay, so we have our MBA, and then we have a Master of Commerce. So some things to bear in mind: the 12 subject Master of Business Administration is only a 1.5 years program. So if you are interested in applying for a post-study work visa when you finish your studies, then this program isn't eligible. So that might be a consideration for you. And in addition to that, for our MBA program, our 12 subject, you'll actually need around 3 to 4 years of relevant management experience. Okay, so our 2-year MBA, which is a 16 subject program, is firstly obviously 2 years, and secondly requires no work experience to apply for the program. Okay, as an alternative, so what many of our students will do if they're interested in a 12 subject program, but obviously they want to maybe apply for post-study work visa later, many of our students will actually look at our Master of Commerce as an alternative. Okay, so I'll show you guys the different course structure programs. Here for our MBA, you can see there are 3 core subjects. So every one of our subjects, they will then choose from just one of these subjects. So you'll have either a strategic management or an entrepreneurship project. Then you will choose 4 subjects from a list of restricted electives. So there's a list a little bit longer than this. And then your remaining 4 subjects will come from HRM, marketing, IT, accounting and finance, entrepreneurship, leadership. Okay, so 4, 4, and 4. Okay, and if you do one of our 16 subject MBAs, then you will just have a list of 4 electives that you can choose from. Okay, very different in terms of the structure, but very similar in terms of actually what you can study. Master of Commerce. Okay, so our Master of Commerce, there are no core subjects at all. But what you can do is actually choose all of their subjects from a huge list of electives. Okay, on the screen, I think there's just about 8 or 9 electives here. But the total number of electives that we have for students, I believe, is in the region of any of the electives. The only requirement that we have is that you have to choose at least one specialization. And here you'll actually see that specializations that we offer are very, very similar to the Master of Commerce. And in fact, we actually have a few extra. Okay. One of the great things about the Master of Commerce as well is that we actually allow students to choose multiple specializations. Okay. So if you're coming and doing our 12 subject Master of Commerce, you can actually choose up to 3 specializations, and then these will determine which subjects that you choose. Okay. Cool. So just very, very quickly, I'll talk about the entry requirements. I'll flash up on screen the scholarships that we have available in place for you guys right now, and then I'll answer any questions. For our postgraduate programs, students would need to have either an Australian bachelor's degree or an equivalent bachelor's degree from another country. So this is either a 3-year degree from a Section 1 uni or a 4-year degree from a Section 2 uni. For undergraduate students, we would look at your, high school qualification. I think, Raj, you can help me out with this. I want to say HSC, but more importantly is the English aspect. Okay, so the entry requirements for both postgrad and undergrad, we need an overall score of 6.0, no band lower than 5.5. And then for postgraduate, we need your writing to be a minimum of 6.0 as well. Okay. Here you can see the prices. So these are our 2020 prices, but we are just waiting on final confirmation, but it's very, very likely that the prices will stay. No fee increase this year. Programs. And then for our postgraduate program. If you guys want to take a picture, absolutely fine, or a screenshot, not a problem. But if you've missed any information, you can actually find all of this information, all of the prices, all the entry requirements online if you just go to see. Okay. The last thing I will just show you guys is scholarship. So, show you guys the undergraduate scholarships first. So we have up to $8,000, or rather I should say we have $8,000 for any and all undergraduate students that apply for our November intake. So long as you meet the entry requirements and you apply for an undergraduate program, you are guaranteed to get this $8,000 if you apply for November. And then on top of that, we actually have an additional COVID relief bursary of $2,800. You'll actually get $10,800 bursary total. Okay, and that will actually come on as a discount from the total fees. Okay, so over $10,000 scholarship for undergraduate students. Similarly, for our postgraduate students, we actually offer up to $8,000. So it's a little bit different. The structure is based on what you achieved in your most recent qualification, so bachelor's most likely. So we look at either your GPA or your WAM, your percentage mark. And depending on what you achieve, you can actually get anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000, and then every student will be able to get this COVID relief fund of $2,800. So there's some huge scholarships available for students coming in for the November intake. If you have any questions about it, but I will wrap up there with the presentation, and we will go to some questions, I think.
Thank you so much, Luke, for this information presentation. That was very useful for the students and for other counselors as well. Thank you so much once again for that. Now, I think we have to move for the Q&A session. We are receiving some questions. So we'll start from the first. Raju
I
sir,
think
I think
you want me to go with the question, right? So,
the first, yep, the first one, that when will the international flight reopen for the students? This is the most common questions at the moment.
well,
Now all the
if
students.
we look at the trend and the news in it that we are receiving from the Australian government, then still we don't have any certainty that from when or from which date international border in Australia will reopen. I just can say that by the end of November or December, or maybe by the first week of Jan, maybe we'll be able to see some news on border reopen. So as of now, we don't have any certain news that to share with you.
Okay. Next question that we have from Rajan: what are the scholarship or discount provided by CSU student study centers for master's course, especially for MIT? I have 75% in bachelor's. How much scholarship am I able to get from the CSU for
Okay, so
2021
it's a
FAB
good
intake?
question. I think in these presentations shared by Luke, he already discussed about the scholarship range that we are offering for November 2020 intake. But for March 25th, March 2021, still we have not decided. Still we have not received the approval for the scholarship. But if you are interested to apply in November intake, then there is a chance of getting 10,800 scholarship. It means if your score is above 65%, that means you already have 75%, then you will receive 8,000 Australian dollar as a scholarship, and additional $2,800 as a COVID-19 bursary. So in all total, 10,800 Australian dollar will be a scholarship for November intake. And most probably, as of now, we can't say, but my belief is, my thing is that nearby, in between 4 to 8 or 4 to 6 or 4,000 amount of scholarship will be provided for March intake, but it's still not sure. So as of now, we don't have anything else to share about the scholarship for March intake. So yeah, just be in touch with KIC team or the counselors, or even uh, if we have any information on these things, then we'll definitely share these things with the counselors and the team. Then you can be in touch with them to know this one. So yeah, that is the thing about this scholarship. Thanks.
Next question we have: can a student who have completed 3 years bachelor degree in Nepal get admission in CSU study centers?
Yeah. Okay. Now here is the major thing that I wanted to share with you. That is, many of in this slide presented by Luke, you have seen there we are offering two types of master's degree courses. That is master's degree of Masters of Professional Accounting, Master of Master of Information Technology, or Master of Commerce, with 12 subjects and 16 subjects. Now, if you had done your 3 years of bachelor's degree, then you'll receive the offer letter of 16 subjects. That means Master of Professional Accounting, 16 subjects. For that, as a part of Masters of Professional Accounting, 16 subjects. First year, you have to go through the Graduate Diploma of Accounting with 8 subjects, and the second year will be your Master of Professional Accounting. This is the same thing. Master, you will get 16 subjects, 16 units offer letter. So there won't be any issues. You can apply with a 3 years bachelor's degree in CSU study centers, no harm at all. And for those students, if you had your 4 years of bachelor's degree from Nepal University, then you will get the offer letter for 12 subjects. In any courses like MIT 12 subjects, or Master of Professional Accounting with 12 subjects, or Masters of Commerce 12 subjects, except Master of Business Administrations, because for MBA 12 subjects, that is that course MBA 12 subject total course duration is 1.5 years, and generally we do not issue offer letter for Nepalese students. So this is the major thing. In addition, if you had done your 3 years of bachelor's degree from international like universities, like if you have your 3 years degree from the international universities or colleges, then you will able to receive 12 subjects master's degree offer letter. So there is no harm in being in touch with counselors. They know everything, and they will help you to get the offer letter. So you can apply either you have 3 years or 4 years of bachelor's degree.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question we have: can I know about the scholarship that it's offering? I would like to request Raju sir to explain in details about the scholarship, especially for NAPTES students. Could you please?
Okay, sure. Okay. In general, I'm not sure about your previous qualifications. So in general, those students who are, intend to apply in CSU study centers in this November intake in bachelor's degree, then you'll able to get 8,000 Australian dollar as a scholarship only for the first year. For the bachelor's degree, 8,000 Australian dollar only for the first year. On top of that, for this, special for this November intake 2020, we are offering additional 2,800 scholarship as a COVID-19 scholarship. So this is the range for bachelor's degree. And if we go forward to the master's degree, if any of you have 2.2 GPA or 55% above in your bachelor's degree, either it could be 3 years bachelor's or 4 years bachelor's, we don't care. If you have 2.2 or 55% above in your bachelor's degree, then you will receive 4,000 Australian dollar as a scholarship. In all total, for the for 2 years master's degree program, you'll only able to receive 4,000 at one time. And if you have your 2.4 GPA or 60% above, then you'll able to get 6,000 Australian dollar. And if your GPA percentage is over 2.6 or 65% plus, then you'll able to get 8,000 Australian dollar as a scholarship. On top of that, for all those scholarship holder, either 4,000, 6,000, or 8,000, you will able to get $2,800 as a special COVID-19 scholarship. So as of now, these scholarships, as of now, we're offering these scholarship only for November intake, and for March intake 2021, you need to wait at least till December. I believe this is the trend that how we are, offering scholarship to our students. Please be in touch with KIC team. They know each and every single details of CSU.
Okay. Next question. Hello, I'm planning to apply for MPA. Could you please let me know if I have to pay full 1 year fee now, or can I pay semester tuition fees?
Well, this is I think a good question, because generally in CSU, if you are thinking to apply in CSU, then you have to pay 1 year tuition fee upfront. That is the major thing about CSU. I know that many of other universities, they might provide you the options of 1 semester or 1 year tuition fee, but with us, you have to pay 1 year tuition fee upfront. And before that, if you are eligible to get this scholarship, then your scholarship amount can be deducted during the time of paying your tuition fee. So in total tuition fee, you can deduct your scholarship, and the rest of the amount you have to pay. And this is the general thing about the tuition fee payment system. But as of now, if you intend to go in November intake, then you have 2 different choices. That is, if you are thinking to study online, then you can pay for 1 subject or 2 subjects, then you can start your online courses. But if you want COE on your hand, in this November intake, then you have to pay 1 year tuition fee upfront, and you have to study 3 subjects without any doubt. And if you are paying 1 year tuition fee, getting COE, and you want to study just only 1 subject, then no way. You have to, if you are getting COE, if you are paying 1 year tuition fee, then you have to, go for 3 subjects online. So this is the major thing.
Okay. Next question. How much scholarship I'll get if I want to enroll for Bachelor of Accounting?
Then, yeah, as I told you, it's 8,000 as your merit scholarship only for the first year, and 2,800 as a COVID-19 scholarship, which that scholarship is only being offered only for November intake. So all total 10,800 Australian dollar as your scholarship.
Okay. Next question. IELTS requirements is still the same, or has it been flexible? I think it's changed. Sorry, it's same, like.
Absolutely. So if you are going to apply for a bachelor's degree, then we just we are asking overall 6, no band less than 5.5. And if you are applying for master's degree or postgrad, then you have to maintain overall 6, no band less than 5.5. In writing, you have to maintain 6. In this case, again, I'm explaining, if you have overall 7, but in writing you have 5.5, in that case, you have to go through the EAP, it means English courses, or you have to, retake your IELTS exam. So in IELTS, overall 6, no less than 5.5 in writing. 6 should be maintained if you're applying for postgrad.
Yeah, but for undergraduate, overall 6, not less than 5.5 is fine, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question is, I have recently completed my 3 years bachelor's degree from college in Nepal, which is affiliated with a UK university. Will your study center accept my degree for MIT course?
Of course, yes. And you already mentioned that you had done your 3 years bachelor's degree from UK university, then you will get the offer letter of 16 subjects. Sorry, 12 subjects offer letter. So it means, in general, many of other universities in Australia, they are offering 16 subjects, and we are the only one university in Australia. If you had 3 years of international bachelor's degree or 4 years of local bachelor's degree from Nepalese University, then you were able to apply for 12 subjects. So this is the good advantage. This is one of the good advantage for you to get 12 subjects offer letter. So it means you will have less course load if we compare with the 16 subjects. Yes, you can get it. You'll get it.
Okay. Next question again, we have about the 12 and 16 subject. What is the difference between 12 subject and 16 subject in the graduation? Like, I think the Sushil is asking the validity of the graduation certificate degree after completing 12 or 16 subject.
Exactly. Okay. So in general, if you had done 3 years of international bachelor's degree or 4 years of 4 years of bachelor's degree from Nepalese University, then you will get 12 subjects. If you have 3 years of if you had done 3 years of bachelor's degree from Nepalese University, like KU, TU, PU, whatever, then you will get 16 subjects offer letter. That's so simple. And the main questions of yours is about the graduations. It doesn't matter. It doesn't impact on your PSW rights. You will get post-study work as well. And even if you able to maintain the certain points after graduations, after the PSW, after getting experience or professional degrees, anything, then also you can apply for the PR. So there is no harm to study 12 subjects. Just if you had done 3 years of international bachelor's degree or 4 years of bachelor's degree from Nepalese University, then we recognized as a which is equivalent as Australian bachelor's degree. So that is the reason that we introduce 12 subjects bachelor's degree, 12 subjects master's degree to our students.
Okay.
So yeah.
Next question, do you have specific requirements of dependent to apply together if spouse is also accompanying with the applicant? Do you have any specific requirements?
Well, in this case, of course, for example, if your spouse do not have any certificates, do not completed his or her like year 11 or 12, then definitely no. And if you are going through the if you are going with if you are taking your spouse with you in these conditions, your spouse should complete at least bachelor's degree, or not, then must have good job profile. After that, you have to provide the financial document checklist from the both sides. We have to check that one as well. So it depends on. I think this is the more or less this is the part of GT. You can apply, but you have to maintain certain requirements. So to know these certain requirements, please visit the KIC office in Kathmandu. They have several branches across the Nepal, and their counselors will help you to get these things in detail.
Okay. Next question we have. Hello, can you please tell us about how many subjects we need to get enrolled on if we choose to study online at the moment?
Well, Barsha, if you want to study online, it depends on you. If you are interested to pay the tuition fee for whole 1 year fee, then you can enroll. Then you have to enroll for 3 subjects. But if you are not interested to pay whole 1 year tuition fee, then you have options with you. That is paying 1 subject and studying 1 subject, or paying 2 subjects or studying 1 subject. So it depends on you. It's so simple.
Okay.
Yeah, just one. Yeah. If I can, just one thing I'd like to add to that. If you do decide to go for if you do enroll for the 3 subjects and you pay the year up front, one of the biggest benefits you get is you'll actually get the COE straight away. You'll be able to apply for your visa, and then everything we've seen from the Australian government means that you would already start accruing time towards your post-study work visa. Okay, so going down that route will make it much easier for you to then come over when you finish your studies to then go straight into your apply for your post-study work visa.
Okay. Next question that we have is visa processing is opened. I can answer this. Yes, visa application process is open. We can apply for the visa now. Visa office are processing your visa application. Unfortunately, our visa application center VFS is not opened yet in Kathmandu. And we are not able to go through the biometric process, but yes, since it is the online visa application, you can apply your visa. Later on, once the visa office resume, then you can complete your biometric and you can get your visa decision. Next question I have, can you please verify that having 3 years international bachelor degree, we can apply for MIT with 12 subject international bachelor degree? I think, yeah, Raju sir.
Of course, yes. Just place your applications right now. Within 24 hours, you'll get the offer letter.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Yeah, I think, yep, we have covered almost all the questions that we have received right now. And I think, yeah, thank you so much, Luke and Raju sir, for your time today. We have covered all the queries from Facebook and YouTube also. Now, we are nearly to the end of our session. Before closing our live session, I would like to request Luke for your final words to Nepalese students who are planning to study in Australia, especially at the Charles Sturt University Study Centers. Your final words, Luke.
Yeah, sure. So first thing I would say, not even necessarily specific to CSU, but if you guys are thinking of studying overseas, if you want to come and study in Australia, and especially if you want to come and study with us, have a chat with the guys down at KIC. You know, these guys are experts in what they do. They've been helping Nepalese students for years. They have helped tens of thousands of Nepalese students get overseas and study. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries, get in touch with your counsellor, get an application lodged, and they'll be able to guide you through every step of the way, okay? One other thing I would just say is if you are thinking of studying, obviously we don't know when COVID's going to end. We hope it will end very, very soon. But do consider coming and studying one of our virtual sessions. You'll get started earlier. Means you'll be able to finish earlier. And one of the biggest benefits you'll be having is that you'll be using this COVID time productively. So whilst everyone else is just waiting around, you'll be moving towards getting your undergrad or your master's degree. And then when you finish and you're looking for work in Australia, you're going to be part of a cohort of students that's much smaller. Okay, so there'll be a much less competitive graduate market. Okay, so you'll be competing with jobs with far fewer students, international students in Australia. If you do decide to get your studies started now, so that you're going to finish maybe 6 months or perhaps even a year sooner than all of these students that are all going to be waiting around and who are all going to be looking to study at the same time when COVID is over. It's going to be a very big and busy semester, those first semesters back. So have a think about online. One of the great things we have is we have a 21-day trial period. So if you want to try one of our virtual sessions, you absolutely can. You can get enrolled in November 1. You can try it for 21 days. If for whatever reason, whether it's your internet connection, whether you just don't like the format, or maybe you feel that you just prefer face-to-face, there's absolutely no penalty. If you want a refund, you can get a full refund, or if you defer onto the next intake. Okay, so there's absolutely no risk for you as a student. You can try the online virtual sessions. If you don't like it, then you're still just you can still just go back to square one and wait around until the borders open. Okay, so don't let COVID delay your study plans. Get online and try with us in November.
Okay, thank you so much, Luke. Raju sir, would you like to add something? Final words from your side? I think he left. Maybe he has some technical problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, Raju sir left. Thank you so much, Luke, and thank you so much for all students for listening and watching us. If you have any further queries, you can contact KIC Nepal. You can also collect very useful information from our website, which is www.kiec.edu.np. Also, you can get all the updated information from our Facebook page. We are now working online and applying all the applications through online, so you don't have to visit our office. If you are not able to visit, you can, even if you are outside the Kathmandu, you can send your application through email, you can communicate over the phone. Our counselors are available to provide the online virtual counseling session to you for any universities of Australia. Raju sir, I was just asking final words, if you have something to share to the Nepalese students.
Sure, thank you. Well, so my last piece of thing is that if you had done 3 years of bachelor's degree or 4 years of bachelor's degree, and if you have some issues on enrolling in Australian institution, then please visit KIC and meet their counselors. You are able to you can apply in master's 12 subjects or 16 subjects with CSU Study Center. So that is the beginning. One of the advantages for you of is having like 3 years or 4 years of bachelor's degree in Nepal. So that's a thing. The second thing about this scholarship for November intake, we already landed this one in the market. So you can visit KIC, or you can just connect with KIC team to know the details. And another thing is that CSU is one of the centers based in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, which look already covered, and our graduate employment rate is so higher than other universities. And in general, many of Nepalese students, you are holding 4 years of bachelor's degree, so it means you will be able to get the 12 subjects offer letter. That in other university you will get 16 subjects offer letter. So that is the advantage of studying 12 subjects, because the tuition fee is less than 12 subjects. Tuition fee is lesser than 16 subjects, and as well the course load. And after that, nothing much. KIC already, Sam sir already informed you about how they are operating their office at this stage. Please be in touch with them, and if you want to meet me personally, or if you want to if you want to contact me directly, then please get my numbers and the details with KIC team, and we can have a WhatsApp or a phone call or whatever, because I'm based in Nepal, so there won't be any issues for further communications. So be in touch with KIC. They're one of our key agents. So yes, this was thank you for this opportunity, Samsur. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Luke, and Raju sir. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.